I'm Luke Ogier.
I'm Zach Kesh.
I'm Tommy Marysville.
I'm Josh Adelsberg.
And I'm Andrew Adams here with the podcast of the century with the boys.
Today we're going to be talking about our Super Bowl predictions and what we think is going to go on today. So, I'll start it off. The Eagles are winning the Super Bowl.
I think the Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl.
Really?
I'm gonna agree with Lois here. Eagles by 15.
I'm gonna say Eagles.
Dude, the Eagles roster is just stacked.
They are stacked.
Everywhere.
With
bro.
that healed ankle of his, I'm gonna have to go with Patty and the Chiefs.
Wow.
The Eagles
There's just-
are the undisputed best team in the NFL right now. They're just too well-rounded. They have too many good players everywhere. It's just like
I'm gonna throw some facts out over here. High ankle sprain, 6 to 8 week recovery. Where are the 6 to 8 weeks? It's been 1 week. This guy keeps playing. Like, no O-line, too.
With this ankle injury, he played the rest of the game. You do know that.
Limping.
And still won.
Look, Patrick Mahomes, he's a special talent. He gets the job done every single night. But this Eagles team is too good. Just like the Bucks in 2020, the Bucks team was too overpowered. Everyone thought Mahomes had a chance just because he's Mahomes, but he couldn't get it done. Good teams win. Eagles win good football. Eagles are winning the Super Bowl.
Valid take from Mr. Loge right there.
I agree with the Bucks take, but the Bucks had Tom Brady. I just think it comes down in the end. Quarterback is the most important part and position in football, and Jalen Hurts is unexperienced, and he's just not the skill level Patrick Mahomes is. I think if Mahomes' O-line holds up even a little bit against that D-line, I think the Chiefs take it, and I think Chiefs defense stops Jalen Hurts.
But the issue is that Chiefs O-line is not stopping the Eagles' defensive line, which is going to attack Patrick Mahomes. Hassan Reddick is getting at least 5 sacks.
Okay, Hassan Reddick is getting maybe 2 sacks. But also, it doesn't matter. Mahomes has... It doesn't even matter who is on the field. Mahomes can make them amazing. Marquez Valdes-Scantling in a playoff game had 6 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown. With Kelsey, it's impossible. The offense is too good. They're rolling. It's impossible.
Yeah, against Eli Apple. You have Darius Slay, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Come on. Who are we talking about here? Talking about the Eagles? Come on. Let's be real here. Eagles by 10. Look at the wide receiver difference. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Both would be the number one on the Chiefs. Chiefs got Juju doing TikTok dances.
And he's out.
He's out.
Juju was ruled out of the Super Bowl.
Mecole Hardman's
pretty
also
sure.
banged up. He just came off injury, so
I mean, McCall Hardman would be on the practice squad for the Eagles.
But
I agree.
my point being, they don't need any of these players. You can put Kadarius Toney out there. You can see.
Kadarius Toney's
you can
hurt too, I'm pretty sure.
You can put Scantling on the field. Like, it doesn't matter who Mahomes is playing with. They are going to be a good wide receiver just because of how good Mahomes is.
I disagree. I do think that Kelsey is just going to get spammed with the ball, but
I think everyone says that. Everyone says Kelsey's going to get the catches. You know what? When they decide to double-team Kelsey, you know who's open? Someone else, and Patty will get them the ball, whoever it is. It could be a practice squad receiver. It could be one of us. It could be from our high school team. Patty will get them the ball.
See, that's the thing, though. Like, if you double Kelsey, right? Like, the Eagles are stacked everywhere. Like, okay, so you say someone else will be open, but, like, you got Slay over there. Bradbury,
Slay
everywhere.
can't cover 2 people if you double-team Kelsey.
Slay probably could guard 2 people. He's that good.
Guys, it's a different game, though. We're talking about the Chiefs. They versus the Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence, and they also versus the Bengals with Joe Burrow. We're not talking about the Eagles with Jalen Hurts, who could run the ball anytime. You give him that space, he's running for a first down.
I'll say
Completely
this.
different game.
The Eagles' offense is ridiculous. They got a good run game. They got Hurts, Sanders, Gainwell, Boston Scott even. Like,
Okay.
they got good – not even that. The receivers, they got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Not even that. They got Goddard. Even their backup tight end is good. The offense is like offensive line too.
Can you
It's
agree?
like crazy.
Best
Can you agree?
offensive line in
the
the NFL.
Eagles had the freest path to Super Bowl of maybe of all time.
Yes, we can.
I agree.
I
It doesn't say
Maybe
anything
of all
about them
time.
as a team.
Exactly.
You can't
I
come
agree.
out here and say like they are going to destroy the Chiefs. Like,
No.
we know nothing.
is-
We know
I-
nothing about.
I would like
This
to
is
say
one
this-
of the most well-rounded teams we've ever seen, like
Yes.
of all time.
Yes.
I would
Of
like-
all time. I'm being serious.
This game will come down to 2 things. I mean, Eagles gonna eagle. They're gonna run the ball. Whatever. It comes down to 2 things. The Chiefs D line, they can stop them even on a game-winning drive. It comes down to that, and it comes down to the Chiefs O line. The Eagles have 2 strong points. Their O line, their running game, and then their D line. That's what's gonna stop them. Patty can do what he can do if his O line protects, and the Chiefs defense can cover. They have a decent secondary if their D line can get some pressure. Chris Jones, if he has another game like he had against the Bengals, I can't see the Chiefs losing.
It also comes down to coaching.
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid is
Andy Reid
Andy
definitely
Reid's an
helps.
experienced coach. Andy Reid knows what he's doing. Nick Sirianni's never been here before. At least I don't think he's been there before.
Yes, yeah, he's never been.
So it's also like a positional advantage there.
But I will say, Chiefs secondary did not do well against T. Higgins and or Jamar Chase. I think A.J. Brown is going to be catching these contested balls like all over this Chiefs
I must say,
secondary.
A.J. Brown has been struggling in this playoffs. You could see it in the Giants game. He was mad even though they were winning the game, which is very confusing to me.
To go back to that Giants game, the Eagles were absolutely electric, and you guys did not give them enough credit for winning, 41-7 and
38.
It was
38
38.
to 7. That's embarrassing for Giants fans here. It's
Very
just
embarrassing.
And we're not going to give the Eagles credit for that? It's ridiculous.
Well, that's what I.
Beating any playoff team by that much is
just
pretty
humiliating.
ridiculous.
It was a humiliating game, but the Eagles just were we got outmatched at every position. But we're not talking about Eagles Giants. Like realistically, every Giants fan knew deep down that that maybe wasn't going to be our game. The Chiefs are just a different team. Like they're not on the same planet as the Giants. And the Chiefs, they've been here before. They know what they're doing. Kelsey and Mahomes are getting it done.
The only thing that the Chiefs have over the Eagles is the experience and the coaching. That's it. That's literally it.
I agree.
I mean,
Look, some of the Eagles players have been there though. Brandon Graham, Kelsey,
I understand that, but like
they've been there.
the
Wayne
team is
Johnson.
so young. Like the quarterbacks, the receiver, like they just don't have the playoff experience. They just don't.
Let's talk about something that about the rosters of the team. Something that I saw CBS mention the other day is the salary of a quarterback. Mahomes makes about $50 million a year, and Jalen Hurts makes 1.7. Obviously, in his rookie contract, it just shows, in my opinion, how good Mahomes is. They have $50 million less to spend on a roster, and obviously we could see that in the Eagles roster, like how stacked it is. And I think that could be the difference of the teams. But I think that $50 million is a huge difference between Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts.
I also have a question about that. Do you think that it's Jalen Hurts, or do you think it's the Eagles' offensive system?
System.
I think it's both.
It's
I
both.
think
It's both.
Jalen
It's
can
both.
get it done. He makes those throws.
But
He-
if it comes down to the Super Bowl, and you're saying that it's the system, and it's like a last-minute drive that needs to tie the game, he's not getting it done.
I mean,
but he's done it all
I
year.
agree, but
But they've never been in the situation.
Jalen
They
Hurts
might-
is 16-1 this season when he started. 16-1.
I think that the Eagles are going to be in a situation they've never been in before this season. I
I
think they're going to be down
I'm gonna
early.
disagree, honestly, and that's
Okay,
why
that's-
I
yeah.
think that Jalen Hurts doesn't need to be put in that situation.
Okay.
He's going to be winning the whole game.
I would
Alright,
just
I
like-
disagree, but that's
I think Andrew would agree with this. Right now, people rank Jalen Hurts about top 3 as an MVP
Yeah.
candidate, and they rank Lamar
Not even
Jackson around 7 to 8. Some people even rank him outside the top 10. And I think if you switch them, I think the Eagles would be even better. It's just it works with their system being a running QB, and most QBs can make the throws he has with his O-line and his weapons.
Look, Jalen
Couldn't agree
Hurts
more.
has been through a lot of adversity in his football career. Even at Alabama, in the championship game, he got subbed off for Tua. Tua goes in, they win it. Jalen Hurts, it's his time. He's going to go in and get this job done. The Eagles are winning the Super Bowl.
He's not going to get the job done. I think his team is, and he's going to get all the credit for it. But I mean, don't get me
Sure.
wong. He's a good quarterback,
Hurts has
but
to play
okay.
well
So this
for
is
them to
this
win.
this is a good question then. So, do you think Jalen Hurts is winning Super Bowl MVP? You sound like you do, and you sound like you don't.
absolutely
do.
not. It's probably going to be.
Like, do you think it's gonna be someone on the defense?
I mean, it could be someone on the defense. It
AJ
could
Brown
probably
got a
be
big
like
game.
All right,
Dallas
let's go through our
Goedert.
predictions.
I
Who we
could
think's going to win the Super Bowl MVP?
well, personally, if we're on the Chiefs, it's obviously gonna be Mahomes. So,
Yes.
but if
Could
I
say
am,
Kelsey.
if
I
you
could
could say
see
Kelsey,
I could
but
see Miles
I f-
Sanders getting like 3 1-yard touchdowns and him getting it.
yeah, but the most unstoppable play in football right now is if the Eagles are in the 4-yard line.
And they
The Hurts, just everyone
Yeah.
push him into the end zone. Like,
I can only see one way that the Eagles win. Hassan Reddick is the Super Bowl MVP and gets multiple sacks, multiple forced fumbles,
I love that.
maybe
Could
even
happen.
an
I love
interception.
that.
it could definitely
Yeah,
happen.
it could.
He's
It
been
could.
balling.
The Eagles O-line.
He's been
I mean, the
balling.
Chiefs O-line is not that good at all. Let's be honest.
Guys, the Super Bowl MVP is like almost always the quarterback. I mean, it's Jalen Hurts we're talking about here. That guy could break out for a 50-yard rushing touchdown any day. Any day. All
I
right,
could be wrong, but did Cooper Cup not win it last year?
that's different. That's Cooper
I think-
Cup. There's
I
no
think
Cooper
he-
Cup in
yeah,
this game.
That's
You don't-
Cooper-
Kelsey's not.
Kelsey-
I think
Kelsey
I
is
don't
on
think
that level.
I don't think Kelsey's on that
I don't
level.
think
Actually,
Kelsey-
Oh,
I
come
think
on.
I really
Kelsey
think
is on that
Cooper
level.
Cup was on a level of his own. I don't think there's anywhere even nobody near him last
Justin
year.
Jefferson this year. I mean,
Cooper Cup.
I guess if the
single-handedly carried
Vikings
team.
made the playoffs and won the Super Bowl, I guess,
But yeah, they didn't make the
but
playoffs.
they didn't.
but,
So
like,
it's hard to say.
They
Yeah.
did make the playoffs.
I
and
guess
lost to the Giants.
if you put him with if you put Justin
fraud.
Jefferson this year with Stafford last year, he would have had a Cooper Cup type year. The only difference is I just think Cooper Cup came out of nowhere, and no one is on that level in the prime. Kelsey, all time, obviously considered just in general, Kelsey's name is above Cooper Cup, but that level that he was on last year, unstoppable.
Triple
no
crown.
one,
Don't forget that.
literally no one, almost of all time compares. There are a few names you could put in that conversation, but that is genuinely one of the best seasons by any player of all time.
For
Yeah, I
the
agree.
Eagles people, do you guys think that it's gonna be a blowout, a low scoring, high
Nah.
scoring? Like, what kind of game are we feeling here?
Definitely
If-
a close game.
-7, I would take it.
So you think the Eagles just blow them out?
Not blow them out. Maybe like a two score game, but like a 10-point game.
Yeah. So I was thinking something like 28-17 Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are just gonna like.
I would say the opposite, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's gonna be a close game, and then towards the end, Chiefs get like a late touchdown, seal it, and then that's the game. But I think it's gonna be like nothing like crazy, just like a normal score of a game.
I think the Eagles are going to come out strong, get off to an early lead, probably 17-7 at half, and then Chiefs get a garbage time tutty late just to make it closer. But in the end, Eagles still win. And what's the spread right now? -1.5.
I think it's.
Can we get a fact check
I-
on that?
I'm 99% sure it's -1.5 for the Eagles right now.
I believe it depends on the books, but in general, it's -1.5. Maybe I think it moved to -2.5 at a point, but I think it's generally -1.5.
Regardless,
It's pretty
Vegas
much a
thinks
money
it's gonna be-
line. It's pretty much a money
Vegas thinks
line.
it's gonna be a
I guess,
3-point
See what
game.
I think. I think this game is going to be back and forth the whole first half. It's going to be like I think this game is going to be super high scoring, and then in the second half, in that fourth quarter, that Eagles defense is finally going to come through, get a stop on Mahomes. Jalen Hurts, he's going to roll, and the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl by a touchdown, maybe even less, a field goal. I think this game comes down to the wire, but the Eagles win. So like if the Eagles were like a -5, -6, like I would not take that. I think the Eagles win
Yeah.
by 2, 3.
I mean, I will say, the Eagles have not faced an offense like that really stand out. Like what powerhouse offense have they really been
They
against? Like
really haven't
none.
been against anything.
I
That's
mean,
what's
the 49ers kind of had a
No,
but
powerhouse
they had like
offense.
a
But that-
fourth
that-
string quarterback.
that is
I-
completely.
Yes.
I would say the Cowboys.
I mean-
twice this year.
Mm.
I mean,
Dak Prescott.
The New York
crazy.
Giants.
how much? What was the
Yes.
score of that Eagles 49ers game? Was it 31-7? Was it
Yeah,
something like that?
it was something
But
like that.
in that first half, it was nothing like that. It was actually the Eagles were struggling a lot, and
They
it
were
wasn't.
struggling on
It
that
wasn't until
defense.
Josh Johnson came in and went 3 and out every play, or even CMC was at quarterback, where they finally got some points on the board. And it's like, if you struggle like that against the Chiefs, like you're done. Like I think the
Yeah.
Eagles have to play a perfect game.
They
to
got
win.
to come out strong
And
to win, of
if,
course.
to your point, if it does come down to the wire, how many times has Mahomes been in this situation? How many times has Jalen Hurts?
If
It's-
it comes down
it's
to the
about-
wire, the Chiefs are winning hands down. We can all agree with
I
that.
agree. Yeah.
I disagree, but
overall, it's
I don't care how good a defense is if the quarterback does not have that clutch factor and has not been in that situation,
it's a
you
good
know,
point.
and Mahomes has been. Mahomes is going to beat that defense 10 times out of 10. If Jalen Hurts gets on the field, doesn't matter how bad defense is. You could put the Lions defense. You could put the Texans defense. Jalen Hurts has not been in that situation. On a 2-minute drive in the fourth quarter, you know, you have
agree.
no idea what he can do. You can't run the ball every play. You got to throw it. You don't know even A.J. Brown, what type of routes they're going to put him. Nick Sirianni hasn't even been in that position. 2 minutes left in the Super Bowl.
Actually,
Andy Reid has.
for like the Eagles point, like I am seeing a lot of like the Eagles just destroyed 2 playoff teams. Like they might not have been the best teams in the playoffs, but they were playoff teams that won 2 games in the playoffs, destroyed them.
The
So like
49ers don't count.
I kind of agree with partially, but the Giants were still a playoff team. We were still good. Like they destroyed us. It's just like I really don't know how good the Eagles are. Like I don't.
Yeah, it's
They're
a
that
toss-up.
good.
It's a
They're
toss-up.
that
I'm
good.
kind of just betting on Patrick Mahomes, not even his opponent, just Patrick Mahomes.
What Lois said before, 16-1. That's absurd. With Jalen Hurts, I mean, we don't know what they could do in the playoffs. How many games did they win in the regular season with Jalen Hurts?
they won. I think
I think it was 14. I think it was 14.
It was-
because he was out for a couple games.
Yeah.
14 out of 15 games they won in the regular season. We can't really doubt them. They haven't showed us
They haven't
any
shown
doubt.
any signs of like slowing down. But
Yeah, that's true.
So
I mean, Colts, technically, that game was A little bit of a.
All right, but
That
that was
was-
so early into
That
the
was a
season.
weird
Well,
game.
That was a weird.
I mean,
That was a very weird game.
let's talk about what these teams need to win. Their X factors and what's going to make them become the team top and the Eagles to stay strong. Let's talk about Travis Kelce first. What do we? What type of game we think he's
Travis
having?
Kelce
I think
needs to have
Travis-
the best game of his life. He will need to do everything for this team.
I think Travis Kelce is getting 12 receptions, over 100 yards, and a touchdown. I think he's gonna be the best player in the game.
I think that player prop Kelsey over 0.5 or like Kelsey a touchdown. I mean
Lock
that's
it in.
absolute lock.
Lock it in.
Free
Lock.
bet.
Lock.
Miles Sanders over 0.5 touchdowns. I think that's a lock. Me personally,
I disagree.
I would say Hurts too.
I
Hurts rushing
dislike Miles
touchdown.
Sanders. I don't know why, but I do love Jalen Hurts rushing touchdown.
I
Definitely.
love Jalen Hurts rushing touchdowns so much. Parlay Travis Kelce and Jalen Hurts anytime. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I have
All
an
I'm
interesting
saying-
line though. Sorry, Loge.
You go.
Mahomes over under half interception.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that.
Okay. The only issue with Mahomes and Josh Allen and some of these big guys is they just try to force too many plays.
Exactly.
Mahomes
And
is
if
different
you-
though. Mahomes is
I agree.
different,
Mahomes is different, but he does have his fair share of interceptions, and
He does.
the Eagles' defense is not like something to be joked around about. So like, if Mahomes does try to make that play down the field and doesn't have Tyreek Hill anymore, so it could be like Marquez Valdes-Scantling running down the field, I could see him getting maybe one interception.
Let's also
Like
look.
a tip ball
Like,
in the
it-
air
it-
and
also
right
that-
to the other
that
team. Like I
play-
could see that.
The
Yeah.
playoff game against the Bengals, like it wasn't like his fault. It wasn't the wide receiver's fault. It was just a great play by the
Yeah.
cornerback.
Let's look at the
And stuff
last
like that.
two Super Bowl games he was in. 2 interceptions and 3 interceptions, both because either his receivers dropped one. I remember one bouncing off Tyreek Hill even in the end zone, and he has to force it. You know, in a playoff game, what happens on the last 2-minute drive, 4th and 10? You know, there's so many places in a
Yeah.
Super Bowl,
It
especially
Could
second
definitely be
half.
an interception.
At the end of the first half, Hail Mary. Like, I just think with this Eagles defense and Mahomes in Super Bowls and the fact that he throws a lot, you know, I just see that overhitting.
I could see that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll agree. I want to say my final score prediction here: 28-24 Eagles.
As I said before, 28-17 Chiefs.
I'm gonna go 31-28 Eagles.
you guys are. Come on. There's not gonna be that many points scored. It's 24-17 Eagles.
I see a very high scoring game. I'm going to go 38-35 Chiefs.
This is a Super Bowl game. You guys are forgetting. It's a Super Bowl
Wow.
game. When
That
does
is a lot
that
of
many
points.
points ever get scored in a Super Bowl game?
That's
you guys
how-
gotta
the
remember
Eagles Patriots. That was a high scoring game.
That's an
that was in the
electric game.
40s.
It was.
If-
I mean,
if that
It's like
happened.
42-35.
Yeah, that was a high scoring
that.
game.
I don't
That's
think it'll be
actually
that
more
high
points.
scoring, but
It
I mean,
is.
that's just my opinion.
I just see, like, basically this Chiefs-Bengals rivalry that's been happening and it oversmacks every time and it's, like, crazy points. I just see that again because the one reason it wouldn't be is the Eagles' defense, and there's nobody who stops Mahomes. Nobody.
I just want an electric game here. It's the Super Bowl.
It'll
We
be
we all have the day off.
We all just
Senior
want-
skip day
come
on
on.
Monday, you know. I mean,
We
great
ain't good
game.
vibes. We just want a good game.
A nice parlay to hit wouldn't be much better. Couldn't be much better than that, you know.
I would also just say I enjoyed my time on this podcast with you guys, and
It was a lot of fun.
go Chiefs.
Go Eagles.
Go
Even though I
Eagles.
hate the Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Go Chiefs. Enjoyed having this conversation with you guys.
Fly
Love
Eagles
this
fly.
pod.
Even though I hate the Eagles, I hate the Chiefs too. But fly Eagles fly. They're gonna win. Easy money line.